Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is part 2 in the week-long series of Back to Basics. So I do basically have a full face on right now. So if you do notice, the only thing not done is my eyebrows. So today we are going to cover just kind of the basics of eyebrows, some different products you can use when doing your eyebrows, and just, how I normally do my eyebrows on a daily basis. So there's a few different kind of products you can use. For me, I have a cream gel pot that from e.l.f. I believe this is actually an eyeliner pot, but I like the cream gel pots for eyebrows, so I use this 99.9% of the time. This is an option, which creates more of, a bolder eyebrow look. We also have the dry brow powder product. This is Ultra Brow from Maybelline in the color light brown. You can also see I use this frequently. Normally what happens is I will create the strokes in my eyebrow with the cream pot, and then I will go over with the powder just to kind of fill it in a little more so I don't look, crazy, like have super dark brows, but that way my eyebrow is filled in. The other option that I have recently gotten into is this little wand brush. This is by e.l.f. As you can see, it's just a little wand. This is in the shade medium by e.l.f. This is made for eyebrows specifically, and you just kind of brush it in. I like it. It fills it in. It is much more of a lighter brow than I prefer. But it's, it's another option if that's something that you would rather do than having a bolder brow. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of show you how I do my brows. So first things first, I like to start by creating the strokes in the eyebrow. So what I use, and you can tell by this brush being the shade brown, that this is all I use this for. I just have a little flat angled brush that I use to create the strokes in my eyebrow. So I'm just going to go into the pot, dip lightly. You don't want too much product. I always like to start at the front, so I like to start closest to my nose and then go out to the tail of the eyebrow. So you just want to start and just kind of create little strokes in your eyebrow, like little hairs, to fill it in. And again, just don't go in too heavy, because then it creates a crazy look. Unless that's what you're going for, but, your choice. But yeah, just to create those little hair strokes in your eyebrow. You don't want to draw a long line, because, your hair in your eyebrow does not look like that. It's, a little unnatural. One thing really quick that I just want to point out is I have not gotten my eyebrows done in a while, so they're a little unmaintained. That also, that definitely helps when you're doing your brows to have a maintained brow. And I don't mean having it, over waxed or over plucked where you don't have an eyebrow, but just keeping the strays away, and maintaining, a moderately thick brow. I think is, a good look to have, but not, you can't overpluck or anything, because then you look silly. But yeah, so when I come into the tail, I do kind of pinch it off really tight at the end, and I normally pull it down just a little bit. When you're doing your eyebrow, you don't want to come and just go like straight down. You want to make sure you're coming out. When you come and you just go straight down when you're doing the tail, then it creates like a droopiness to your eye. So it kind of starts to close off your eye. When you do the tail, you always want to make sure you're going out with where your natural eyebrow would be, but pulling it out towards more like towards your temple or towards the top of your ear. So you're keeping your eye open and keeping it to where, you don't look like your eye is like drooping down. So I'm just going to go in really quick and do the other side. Again, just with the little strokes and the shade, and just not going in too dark. and just kind of filling in some of the spots that are a little patchy per se. Alright, so now that that's done, really quick, I'm just going to go in with this little eyebrow brush. This side we use for the eyebrow. This side is used for lashes, just to kind of unclump them before you do mascara or anything like that. I normally don't use this side. I normally just stick to the eyebrow side, just to kind of brush everything through and make it a little smoother. Make sure everything's laying down the way it's supposed to. And then, like what I said, I normally go in with the powder over top just to fill it in a little more. So I just dip that side of the brush into the powder. Again, tap off the excess a little bit so you don't look too crazy. And then I just, again, brush over the tops like I did before. Alright. I'm not using this product today, really quick, just so you're aware, but you know, this is an option if you like more of a lighter filled brow. One of the last things you're going to want to do is to carve out your eyebrow. So when you carve out your eyebrow, you're using a concealer or a foundation or something along those lines in a very, a lighter shade, and you're going to come under here and just kind of carve out the arch of your eyebrow just to give you more of a straight lined look. So I'm going to use a NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. This is in the shade CW00. So I'm going to be using this today to carve out my eyebrows, and I will be using it with this flathead brush. You want a flat brush just because it's easier to kind of get right up into the arch of your eyebrow. It doesn't spread the concealer around to make you look completely, crazy. But it gets up as close to your eyebrow as you could possibly get. Now again, this is one of those things where you don't want to go in crazy with a crazy amount of product. You want to make sure that you're keeping it light. Concealer is normally something you can build up, so if you need more, you can get more, but you don't want to be using too much and then you have to start over or what have you. So you're going to go in with a little bit, come right under here, and just kind of get right into the brow all the way down through the tail. Here we go. Alright, so that worked out pretty good. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side really quick, and then we're just going to blend it out, and you'll see the difference that it kind of makes to do this to your eyebrows. I don't do this all the time. It is something that's nice to do. It kind of finishes your eyebrows off. So it is something that's nice to do. So you see I kind of have the little white line underneath my eyebrow right now. So then I'm just going to go in with the same brush and just kind of blend it down a little bit, just so it doesn't look like such a harsh white line under my brow. So we're just going to pull it down, and you just see how it kind of brightens up underneath your brow and makes your arch just look a little bit sharper. In the camera you can see like my eyebrow just looks a little more cut and neat underneath it. See the difference? You can see the full line on this side, but you see after it's blended out it just looks nice and like it's completely done and shaped up and sharp. So I'm just going to do that on this side as well, and then I believe that's about it for the video for eyebrows. Alright. Perfect. Okay, so the eyebrows are now done. Again, I like more of a fuller, bolder brow. That's just my preference. Some people like a lighter brow. That's completely up to you. This is how I do my eyebrows. It's a pretty basic eyebrow tutorial. It's nothing difficult. It's nothing that, a beginner can't do. It's just something that you practice and learn with time. But yeah, so I just went over the 3 products. You have your powder product to create, a lighter filled brow. This, I believe, creates the lightest look, the gel brow wand. And then for the more bolder look, you have your cream pots that you can use. And just making sure that you carve out your eyebrow to just kind of create the sharpness and give it that brightness underneath that just kind of finishes off your eyebrows altogether. But yeah, so that is the video for today. So again, this is video 2 in the Back to Basics series. We did video 1 yesterday covering eyeshadow, and this was video 2 covering brows. So I will see you tomorrow with video number 3. If you have any questions or have any ideas for some videos you'd like to see this week in the series for Back to Basics, please let me know in the comments down below and subscribe to my channel. I will see you soon. Thank you.